your host, Jared Beeler. I'm going to try and shoot a 15 minutes or less video here, so I'm going to be sending this at you fast and furious. I just want to talk about a few things and throw them out there. It feels like we're in a quiet time right now. It really does. Those birth pains, they were coming fast, they were coming hard, and they were getting quicker and quicker, and then all of a sudden, we're going to a little silent spot here over the summertime. A lot of stuff still brewing in the distance and behind closed doors, and it's the same kind of feeling you get being a fighter when people are planning their big jump party where everybody teams up to come and get you. Real quick though, I wanted to just talk about how close I think we are, and I'm telling you, it's lining up like it could be this year, like never before, and that is exciting. I hope you're ready. I really do. I hope you're ready and you put this world to the side and turn to Jesus, because it's getting so close, and I literally can feel it. It's like in the air. I got a couple stories I want to share with you guys real fast and just kind of point this stuff out, but really quickly, I moved up here to Montana, and that job that I went to, it didn't work out. I ended up talking to a coworker that said that he would never be a Christian or have anything to do with it, and he's a changed man now. I got to him and I was able to talk to him, tell him the truth, the stuff that church won't happen. He's just one of the many that I've talked to that have been around church, seen the corruption going on, seen the ostracization and the lack of love, the corruption, and not knowing any different, says, no, I don't want to have anything to do with those people, not realizing that you can have that personal relationship with Jesus. I never ever stepped foot in the church. The church is an abomination for the most part. I can't stand it. And all the videos that I talk about, I kind of push away from that. If you're in a church that's good, that's absolutely great. I totally believe in a graduation from it, where you step out from that and you go off like every single person that's a Christian is supposed to and tell people about Jesus, okay? So getting past that point, that job didn't work out. As I was talking to him, evil got in there because it knew exactly what I was doing, and the same thing as many other jobs. I got to one of the bosses, they pushed some areas that I couldn't go with, and I had to get out of that situation. My hands are now officially tied. I'm either halfway through the month going to go and get my stuff up in North Idaho, all right, and I'm going to bring it to where I am here, or I'm going to take all my stuff and do a reverse move and stick it in that storage unit as I move out of this state and try to survive in another place and possibly go homeless again for a while. The point of this is that my hands are tied. What does that mean to you guys, especially if you've never seen it before? What it means is, if I had never seen that vision in 2014, these would be my two options, and there would be no way out of it. I'm either going to go get my stuff and bring it here, or I'm going to take that stuff and go there. Either way, I am locked in to going up to North Idaho. Meanwhile, at the same time, my stepdad has finally got the house sold that they had in Colorado, and he's got to pick some stuff up for my brother, and he is going to Colorado, right? He lives in Florida, right? If you see where this is going, it sounds a lot like the vision. He is not driving up. He is renting a car. I have no idea what it's going to be. I have no idea. But I told you guys I'd keep you updated. Anything that starts to line up with that rapture vision I had in 2014, where I'm up in Idaho, and he's up there too. And when that vision happened, he was in Florida, no plans of coming up there. He's changed his thoughts a little bit. He sold that silver Volkswagen Bug, okay? He has some little camper slash vehicle, Oscar Mayer looking thing, all right? It's dorky, but he's not driving that. He is renting a car. So if that turns out to be a silver Bug, that's just going to be like red flags all over the place. He might come up this way. He's thought about coming up to Sandpoint for a while, and if hurricane season's coming to Florida, he might just decide to stay up here for a little bit longer on the trip. I have no idea, but I told you guys that I'd throw that out there, and it is lining up like that, okay? Another thing I want to share. She's talking to my mom, and she had a friend exactly 7 years ago today down in Colorado, Grand Junction, and she was driving, and she was going down the road in town, and I asked her if I could share this, and she said, yep, absolutely. And the lady picked up a hitchhiker, okay? She doesn't usually do this when she's praying to God. And she's like, God, I don't pick up hitchhikers. I don't want to have anything. I don't know if I want to do this. God, Holy Spirit in her says, no, you want to pick this guy up. So she goes, okay. She picks up the hitchhiker. They start driving down the road. They're talking about a few things. The hitchhiker goes, the trumpets are about to blow, all right? As in the trumpets, rapture, tribulation, start the whole works, okay? She looks at the guy, boom, he vanishes right in the car, totally disappears. She just got done picking up an angel, okay? This was August 2nd, exactly 7 years ago. Seven, that's an interesting number, okay? Just wanted to throw it out there. After hearing this story, I realized something happened exactly a couple years ago to this day. August 2nd, 2016 was an interesting day because it was one of the only days in my life, it is the only day in my life in physical form where I had all the weight removed off my shoulders. And it was an incredible experience. It lasted for one whole day. I just got done screwing up the night before. I'd sinned and I felt bad about it, and I felt God's hammer was coming down the next day. And as I was driving to work, the weight on my shoulder, the weights that I always carry around, if I'm going to be able to save people, how I'm going to get to them, everything that I've been carrying my whole life, all right, it's gone off my shoulders, almost to the point where I felt guilty, like I need to be carrying this weight. Nope, completely removed, all right? And is a reminder that we're not saved by our works or what we're doing or what we're carrying, okay? That is our burden to do as Christians, but it's not what we're saved by, it's grace. And we don't have to be doing things to earn things from God because He loves us just the way we are as His children, okay? And He gave me a day off. I went to work. It was incredible. Work felt so light and easy. It was fun. I had a good time. There was nothing that could get me down. Later that day, I had to go to the dentist's office. I was trying to get a couple cavities fixed. It was an evil dentist that was trying to make money off of me, so he purposely drilled into my roots, okay? And so that I'd have to come back for a root canal, which is something I'm not going to do because I had it happen once in the Army, and they screwed it up, and that tooth died, and I lost it. So I'm like, no, never again. All right. But while I'm in there, they give me sediment shots so I don't feel any pain. Because of something that I was taking, I think it was creatine or something like that, and what my body was dealing with, the aluminum and stuff there, it instantly went through the nummification, and I felt the whole thing, all right? I felt them drilling in my mouth, root canals on both teeth, and I felt the whole thing. It was absolutely terrible afterwards. The lady's like, she's like, can you feel that? I'm like, actually, yeah, I felt the whole thing. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. The point is that couldn't do anything to me having the weight off my shoulders. It was the best day of my life. Even just getting 2 root canals with no nummification in my mouth, okay? This is the only way that I can compare and tell you how incredible it is to have that weight removed. Only other time this has happened is in the rapture vision in 2014. And that was a vision, of course, and going up. Boom, first thing off my shoulders is work. I'll never have a stupid job again, I'm reminded, and money. Boom. And then the ultimate joy just takes over as I'm looking up north, okay? And anyways, so on the way home to Priest River with 24 miles from Sandpoint, as I'm driving, I get into a huge traffic jam. Traffic's backed up, I don't know, 50, 70 cars, and it just keeps getting worse. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, screw it. So I drive in the ditch, and I go all the way up the road past them, and I get to the parking spot, and I see it's a down tree, and there's vehicles that are that far on the other side. And I grabbed the axe out of my truck just to walk over and see if maybe they need some help cutting branches. Little do I realize, they don't have a chainsaw or anything like that. They're trying to break it with vehicles. There's just a few guys up there, and everybody's just sitting in the cars waiting, right? So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, out of the way. So I go over where that thing is, right, where it fell down on the car on the road, and I chop into that thing. I got that axe razor sharp. It only took a few swings, boom, right through it. And everybody's cheering and happy, and it was really awesome, you know. Normally, traffic backed up, you're late to get home, terrible day, still best day of my life. We get the thing out of the road, everybody's like, yeah, people are driving. I'm like, hey, thanks a lot. A cop finally shows up, glares at all of us, gives us a dirty look, and then drives over to the people where the tree had fell down and hit their Corvette while they were driving. They were okay and everything like that. But, you know, it was great. I went home, took a picture. I was just looking on my Facebook, and yeah, August 2nd, 2016, and I'm holding the axe on my shoulder, and I'm in a chipper mood. And just incredible. Next day, all the weight was back. And it was just a reminder that God's in control of that whole situation. But I found it interesting. That was exactly a couple years ago to this day. And at the same time, I'm hearing that story from my mom, that lady that picked up that hitchhiker, which turned out to be an angel, said the trumpets are about to blow. Very interesting. Another thing, the other night, I was looking at the numbers, all right? I've told you guys before, I saw 5 to 8 people when I looked north, all right? Not counting myself. As I looked north, all right, and this part of town in Sandpoint is about 2,000 people or so, okay? I just want to point that out. So I crunched the numbers. How much out of 2,000? What's the percentage? And we're looking at a percentage of 0.0, 0.24 and or 25 and 0.05, I believe, all right? And that's what you get your numbers out of 2,000. That's the percentage of the people that were going up. I told you guys I was surprised after waking up, still in the excitement of the whole thing, because I had experienced it. This isn't the first time where I've gone to heaven in dreams and things like that. This was completely different. It separates itself out of time and space. I was actually in it. I felt the joy. It was incredible, and it was permeating with me for a week straight afterwards, like an aura that I just couldn't get rid of. Absolutely incredible. Okay, I saw my stepdad on the bridge. This makes the point. He's living in Florida at that time. We never had any intentions of talking. All right. In 2016, I'm trying to figure out what he has on his mind because I used Eagle Vision to look down on the bridge and see what he's thinking when he's in the traffic jam looking across the bridge. And finally, when I was in the shower, I tried something I hadn't thought of. What would happen with the look on his face if I had told him all about this? Because he didn't know, just the rest of my family did. So I told him and then looked again in through my thoughts because it's just seared into my mind, this whole vision. And that's exactly what it was, okay? I told him about this. In 2017, last summer, I told him the whole thing so he knows. So far, that's all lined up. In fact, every single thing is lined up with this vision, all right? When you calculate the numbers, all right, of 0.025, which would be 5 people, to 0.05 being 8 people, all right, when I look north out of this population in 2000, to a population of 8 billion, we're just going to round it up, all right, to what the population of the earth is, all right, if this was to be even across the board without places with higher or lower in number, you're looking at a rapture number of 20 million to 32 million, all right? In between that, right around it, okay? Now let's say there's going to be places that there's more Christians, right? More people get raptured. Absolutely, numbers can be higher in certain spots. But then there's going to be whole places in like the Middle East where there's tons of people that aren't Christian or anything like that, right? It's going to be way less. Straight across the board, you're looking at 20 to 32 million people worldwide, okay? That is incredibly small compared to 8 billion, okay? Incredibly small. John sees the people that get martyred in heaven, all right? He asked the angel where these people come from. They came out of the Great Tribulation, right? These are people afterwards that died during the tribulation, Christians and stuff like that, as martyrs, all right? It says it's like the sands of the sea. There's going to be tons of people that get saved in that time, but the rapture numbers, from what I've seen, are small, okay? And I just wanted to punch those numbers in and see what would happen. I find it very interesting because that is a very extremely small numbers, all right? 20 million to 32 is ridiculous. Even if we were to take it up, all right, throw kids in there and everything else, all right, even 100 million, 200 million, that's nothing. It's nothing compared to 8 billion. That is so many people that are going to be here wondering what the heck just happened, you know? So I talk about this stuff all the time. Somebody might stumble upon this video. They'll have all the answers they're looking for, you know? Constantly trying to tell people wherever you go, don't give up on that, all right? And if you see something that's too good to be true right now, it's because it probably is too good to be true, right? Something I've wanted to talk about before. There's all kinds of traps out there to get you away from God, get you to where you're not supposed to be, doing something where He's not your first love, into the world where you're literally hoping that it doesn't happen now because things are so good. Those are called setups, all right? And it's to keep you away from it, because in the tribulation, when you're faced with death, there's a lot of people that will go from being Christian to no. Fear takes control, all right? And Satan knows this already, and it's because of this reason that if you find yourself left behind, he knows that if you can just get people to miss the rapture, then there's a way better chance, a way higher chance that you can still get into hell, which is what he wants, okay? All right, so these are just a few things that I wanted to throw out. I want to make it fast. Yes, I think I did it in under 15 minutes, so that's pretty awesome, all right? It's close. It's really close, and I really feel war is upon us. These birth pains, they just kind of went into a little quiet phase, but it's not done, all right? We got all kinds of things that are happening in the background, all right, that are still working towards this, towards Middle East thing. We still have the prophecies of Russia and China that attack us, okay? There's a number of different things that could take place, and it's very wise for us to be paying cautions because I heard something this morning. It was interesting. It was from a prophecy guy, and he was talking, and it was about Trump. And you guys know my thing on that. I was going to vote for him, and I wanted him to win over Hillary. And while I was in the middle of the prayer, God, can he win? Because I really want him to. Because I don't have a problem with the guy. I really don't. At a face value, you know. And God said, let the dead bury the dead. And according to Scripture, looking at it, it was just keep doing what I'm doing, telling people about Jesus, keep fighting the fight, because what's going to take care of itself is going to take care of itself, you know. If he's just using the Christian front, and of course the people he surrounds himself that are Christian, they're a bunch of phonies. Paulo White and those guys, total phonies. All right, Joel Osteen and stuff like that, it's a bunch of nonsense. right? So if those are who he's putting himself around and using as a political movement to get more Christian voters and stuff like that, hey, it worked. But that doesn't mean he's going to be in the right place, okay? One of the things this guy got from his prophecy thing that I thought was extremely interesting, because we've heard he's a Cyrus. I told you before, when Clement started that, and he's the one that started the whole Cyrus thing, which is spread worldwide. His life was taken about 2 weeks later. I saw a demon in him. I said it. I'm like, that guy's a demon, and it was easy to spot, and he was using demonic interpretation and other things like that, sorceries, for his interpretation, maybe inside scoops, but it was bad news, and his life was taken from him. Why? Because it is extremely dangerous to deceive Christians, all right, and say that you're doing it from God or you're a Christian, all right? It's very dangerous. Just like the guy that was working for the Pope, Tony Palmer or whatever his name was, and he was trying to get the church to come together, and he's working with Kenneth Copeland. I'm like, that guy's a demon in him. I can see it right now in his eyes. Boom, 2 weeks later, motorcycle accident, he dies, okay? Same scenario, okay? This guy on the prophecy thing this morning, he was saying something interesting. He was in a Cyrus, Trump. He's a Saul, all right? And I'm like, wow, that is very interesting. They wanted a strong king. They got it, but it wasn't the guy that God had intention for, you know. He was going to have David come in there, and he made the point that, you know, Saul isn't the right one. And it's very interesting because that's exactly what we see with Trump. People are putting him as totally God-given. He's the only way. He's our savior and everything like that. When really our savior and the one that all of the Christians should be looking towards is Jesus, and especially noticing the times we're in, because it's so blatantly obvious. How many more signs you need to see that we are in the end times, and it is approaching like a locomotive, okay? There's just some fast things I wanted to get out. I wanted to get them out and make the point, you know, keep looking up, and I'm going to keep you guys updated, all right? If the rapture happens this month or next month, I won't be surprised, but I'll let you guys know. It's very interesting that it's still correlating with Sandpoint, that I'm locked into having to go up there to get my stuff or put my stuff away. And my stepdad's going to Colorado. He very well might take a trip up there, and you know what? It's definitely something to take notice to. So far, every single bit of that dream has come into play, okay? So, you know, I'll keep you guys updated as much as I can, but like I said, I wanted to get this stuff out. And like that angel said in that lady's car when she picked them up, the trumpets are about to blow. That was 7 years ago to this day. It was very interesting, you know. And my mom's vision of destruction that she had, where it was calm seas, and she's like, God, what is this? And he's like, that was 2017. And then a tidal wave comes in, and she goes, whoa. And it takes out everything, and God goes, this is 2018. Totally different, all right? But we haven't seen that happen yet. We're in a calm spot right now. I really feel that it's about to, okay? I'm sharing everything that I know and that I got with you guys, and trying to help as many people, like I say, get saved, get right with Jesus, turn from the world, and help as many as I can out. But this is all I got for right now, and I'll keep you guys updated. God bless. I'll catch you next time on the Legion. Bye.